So we edited a short 18-minute documentary film that shows the movement in action and encourages folks to join us to protect the places we play, and also just sort of has fun while it does it. Public lands isn't necessarily, a sexy topic, but we tried to make it a little fun and a little light, and hopefully everyone that watches it feels like, you know what, I do own these places, and it's my responsibility to make sure that my kids or my kids' kids have access to them as well. So what you guys will receive is Ivan and Outdoor Foundation folks are sending you a packet of goodies, and in that packet of goodies will be a Live Monumental sort of activism in a box package, and it will have the DVD with the Live Monumental film, and then it will also have a 7-minute film about the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, not one of the places on our list, but a place that we're trying to see protected as well. It's a beautiful representation of what that place is like and why it deserves protection. And then another short film from one of our ambassadors, James Q. Martin, about the Grand Canyon and sort of the beauty that place embodies as well. So it's about, I'd say, maybe 40 minutes of film. And then also included we'll have some film posters, physical posters that you can write in your specific event location and time information into and post around campus. We'll have a digital version of that will be added to the reference or the resources page. We'll have some suggested social posts as well that's added to the resources page. We'll have a bunch of stickers and fun swag in that box as well to encourage folks to come to the screening. And we'll have some petition postcards. And a lot of folks have just been mailing in the postcards, but I'll just go ahead and include a pre-paid postage envelope so you can put all of those signed petition postcards into one envelope and mail them back to me. So yeah, that's more or less sort of the overview of what the campaign entails. It's less about Keene and more about sort of the collective community of passionate folks that feel strongly about protecting and preserving our country's public lands. So unless folks have questions or unless I've missed anything, maybe we could go ahead and show the trailer.
That sounds great. I'll go ahead and show the trailer, summarize just a couple points, and then we'll take some questions. So if everybody could go ahead and just make sure your speakers are up if you can listen, or turn them down if you're in the office. But we're going to show you the preview for the Monumental. Here we go.
In the summer of 2015, a crew from Keene set off on a cross-country road trip with the goal of building a movement to protect public lands and to prove that when we combine our voices, we can have an impact that echoes across the generations.
There's a whole group of people who care deeply, care profoundly about creating lasting change.
The movement continues to grow because there's work yet to be done.
To know these places is to love them, and the more we know, the greater the sense of urgency.
Every mountain pass, every crystal clear stream and desert sunset only reminds us that if we want it, this feeling can last forever.
It already belongs to all of us, and if we stand up and make our voices heard, it always will.
Awesome.
So the DVD will be a little faster than that, but you get the idea.
Oh, perfect. Did it not show well over the webinar? That might have been, I apologize if that was a problem there.
Oh, no, it was fine. It's a good little teaser.
Okay, perfect. Well, great. And so just to kind of summarize some of the points that Kirsten said before I just ask if there's any questions, kind of what are the calls to action around the film? First of all, you have full flexibility, like I said, to not only show it when you want to show it during the 6 weeks, but second to that, you're flexible as far as where you want to show the film as well. Ideally, we thought, it would be a gathering place on campus, so as many people could see the film as possible, whatever works for you. But just as an example, I was contacted by Shenandoah University earlier this week, and they were interested in showing the film actually in the community theater, actually in downtown Winchester, Virginia. And so I just thought that was a great example of a way of a school saying, hey, we work closely with our town. The film club was interested. Let's see if we can get a bigger audience by showing it in an actual movie theater in town. So that is not to say everybody's expected to do that, but that is to say that you do have full flexibility on kind of where you want to show it. And if it gets to be bigger than maybe you thought, we'd love to hear about it and hear about what you're doing. So you definitely have flexibility there. The expectation back for us is that, one, you would, during the film, take a picture just so that we can kind of see what the venue looks like. Just, it doesn't have to be detailed, just so that we see people and a film screen, because we really just want visual, be able to share with Keen and Kirsten visually all the different film screenings that are happening at the schools across the country tied to the challenge. Second to that, we're going to ask you to estimate, to the best of your ability, the number of people that are attending your film screening. So a picture and a number of people is kind of the information we would like back from each of you. And of course, you'll receive numerous reminders about that throughout the challenge. And then, as Kirsten mentioned, making sure that you're collecting the postcards, putting those in the return envelope and getting those mailed back to Keen and Kirsten so that they can keep track of all the postcards that you're collecting at the film screening. So just make sure that all those things are kind of on your radar. You'll obviously hear a lot more about that as the challenge gets closer. And the biggest message, of course, is to encourage everyone who is attending the film screening to log the activity as part of the campus challenge. So specifically, the Live Monumental film screening is one of the options under activities. We want people to log it. We want people to take pictures of it. And we want people to get points for doing it. And so we'll obviously have many reminders about that as well. But it only makes sense that people would accrue points for themselves and for you, the school, while they're attending the film screening, which brings it all together. So with that all being said, does anyone have any questions for myself or for Kirsten? Anything around Live Monumental that we can answer for you?
Ivan, just one more point. So Keen is super excited about this activation specifically and would encourage folks to share socially the film experience, but also different outdoor activities that folks are participating in using the Live Monumental hashtag. We're excited to potentially repost some things from different universities, and just definitely want to strongly encourage use socially as the campaign's rolling out. Perfect. And we'll also, Kirsten, be reminding, of course, everyone of the specific hashtags to use in addition to hashtag Outdoor Nation, hashtag Live Monumental, etc. And a couple questions have come in. And Alice, I think you're with Shenandoah, so I might have called you out a little bit. But Kirsten, the question first was, what format are the films in? They're on DVD, pre-printed or pre-written DVDs. Okay, perfect. And then Alice says, I'm trying to partner with a film club / cinema. So I believe, Alice, you are with Shenandoah. Will it be a problem if they charge admission? They may partner this with another of their films. So I guess that was one of the questions. No, I don't think so. We, this summer, actually just wrapped up a film tour. We partnered with Wild and Phoenix Film Festival, and we road tripped again across the country, hosting 10 sort of mini film festival stops in different cities across the country. We didn't charge admission for those, but we learned that sometimes folks RSVP and then don't show up when events are free. So I think it's totally fine for those folks to charge admission if they think it'll get folks there. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Next question, also from Alice. Can you remind me what the second film is? The Arctic one? ? Yep, it's just a short film about the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and I'll include little write-ups, a little sort of playbill in all of the toolkits that have super short film descriptions on them. But it's a film by Florian Schultz, who's an Arctic explorer, and there's actually Gwich'in, which is the native community that lives in this part of the Arctic. Leader narrates it, and as does Terry Tempest Williams. So it's a really powerful short film about the refuge.
Perfect, thank you. And last question from Alice: how long is the Keen film again?
18 minutes with credits.
Perfect, thank you. All right, next question comes from Sean. Is there an expected date or deadline? Can this be shown in tandem with other outdoor films? So I'll answer the first part, Sean. For me, it just needs to take place from September 4th and October 15th, which is the 6 weeks of the challenge. And then the second question was, can this be shown in tandem with other outdoor films, which is similar to what Alice asked, and I believe the answer was yes. But Kirsten, I'll let you answer.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Sean. Next question is, when do you expect the film and materials to reach us? I'm actually going to be answering that question in just a couple minutes. So more to come on that. And let's see, we have another question from Sean. What is the total length of all 3 films?
Let's see, 18 plus 7, 25. I'd say 40 minutes. 42 minutes.
Perfect. So it sounds like there's about 42 minutes of film. So you should plan on obviously a welcome, pre-event, the film, and then, a thank you and goodbye baked into your event plans.
Absolutely. And that's actually a good point. I have sort of a script of what we used on the Wild and Scenic film tour that has just a little bit more background about the campaign. And I'll just include that in a Word doc and as a PDF for anyone that wants just a guidance on maybe how to do the intro or whatever else. Of course, you're free to, it's malleable and you can curate it however you want, but to Ivan's point, probably about an hour program.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, and another question's come in. Can we show the film more than once? Once for the student body and once for the general public near the school, so like the campus community?
Absolutely.
So yes, and
I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, Ivan.
Yeah, I would say from our end, 100%. And that question comes from John, and I would just say the key is encourage everyone to log the activity, because we want to make sure, 1, lots of people are participating in the challenge. 2, lots of people are getting exposure to the Live Monumental film and participating in that campaign. And so as much as you can take advantage of the film and the challenge and having that work for your campus and community, go for it. All right, and last call for questions on the Live Monumental film or campaign. Let's see, one more came in. Would both count towards the challenge for students? Yes, 100%. So as a reminder, students can log up to 5 outdoor activities a day. And if that student logged seeing the Live Monumental film on one day and then saw it again 2 weeks later at a different showing, they 100% could log it twice. So it's 2 separate activities. They've gone twice. They can log it twice. Both would count towards the challenge. And remember that the challenge is open not only to students, but also anyone that signs up to support your school. So John, remember that it's not just students that can log it, but you should encourage surrounding community members. If you were to show the film to the larger community, everyone should support your school, sign up for the challenge, and get points and be entered to win, awesome prizes throughout the challenge. Let's see, a couple more questions. Ivan, do community members count towards film screening points? 100%. So same answer. The challenge is not limited to the student body. So anyone can sign up for the campus challenge. When they do, they have to select a school that they're supporting. And that means that not only do their points for everything they do accumulate for themselves, but they also accumulate for the school. So, an individual from the town who never even went to the school but loves the school and wants to support it can sign up for the challenge and log points and participate in everything. So, correct. It is not just open to the students. It's open to everyone. And John, that looks like that answered your question. So, anything else?
And please keep us posted as if you're, hosting something in the community. We're super excited to get involved to the extent we can. So yeah, definitely keep us posted as things are being solidified.
Absolutely, and that same message goes for us at Outdoor Nation. Anything that we can do, if you need more material, something that you really feel would add to the event, I mean, let us know, keep us in the loop, so that not only we know, but we can also work with Kirsten and her team to make sure you guys are doing everything the way that you want to be able to do it. So just let us know. One more question, Kirsten. How many postcards do we get, and can we get more?
I was planning on sending 100 per package. Yes, we can send more. I think maybe even more than postcards you can actually sign a petition at livemonumental.com. So encouraging folks to go that way is great as well. I'll also throw in some, it's sort of like 11 by 17 paper sheets of petitions gathering tools, basically, so not just the postcards, but we'll make sure that you have ample postcards. If you run out, let me know, or send people to livemonumental.com.
Perfect. Thank you, Kirsten. So it looks like that's all the questions for right now on that topic. Kirsten, I'm going to go ahead and mute you back, but let me know if there's questions. I'll certainly unmute you so that you can respond.
Okay.
Great. All right. So thank you, Kirsten. And I just want to take a moment, too, to thank Keen. This is the third year of the challenge, and Keen has come on board. And I can't tell you how excited we are to not only have Keen just on board because of who they are and what they stand for, but really the way that they're able to plug into the challenge and provide this film series, which is a really different element than we've had before baked into the challenge plans. And so I just really want to thank Kirsten and Keen for their partnership and sponsorship and belief in what we're doing with the Campus Challenge, getting more people outside and protecting beautiful places we love to recreate in. So really thank you to them. So now I'm going to move on to the Outdoor Nation Campus website. And I'm not going to spend, obviously, a ton of time. I think most of you are pretty web savvy. You've been to a website before. So I just am going to highlight some points that I want to make sure that you see. And before we end the call or the webinar, I will also go over all the shipping information so that you guys kind of know how we're going to verify your shipping address and when to expect all of your items. So I will cover all of that as well. And it looks like, let's see, Lori had a question, just jumping in from Mountain View College. Do you guys have a pre-recorded short video we can post or use on social media? Lori, if you could are you talking specifically about the film series? And if so, yes, we are going to be providing you with social language, and you can also share the page that we're looking at on your screen, the film preview, as a way to link to that in social. And I will find out from Kirsten if she's got a more specific answer, but looks like that might have answered your question. All right, so going on to the Outdoor Nation Campus website, you should see that on the screen in front of you, or it should be updating here momentarily. If one person could just type in, I can see the website. That way I know that everybody can see what I see. I would appreciate it. Perfect. Thank you, Lori. Okay, so a couple things on the website. One, we have flipped the switch. So officially, when you go to oncampuschallenge.org, it has been updated with all the 2016 information. So now, as I mentioned, we do have the Outdoor Nation Campus Challenge app this year, and I do believe most people will be participating in the challenge using the app, but it all kind of goes through the website. As all of you, I'm sure, are aware, usually there's a website that really is a companion to the app that has a lot more information in detail than what you see on the app. So when you look at the app, you'll see that's kind of a very simplistic version of the website as it's intended to be. So this is your homepage of the Outdoor Nation Campus Challenge. It's got a lot of great information here, obviously how to participate, information about the 3 titles that we award at the end of the challenge, links to other places on the page. This is also where, from the homepage, you can view the leaderboards for both the leading schools and the leading individuals. Now, everyone will be at 0 when pre-registration starts. We've been testing the website, creating all sorts of fake accounts, and so all the people you see under leading individuals and all the points that have accumulated, all of those are fake. They are not real entries. No one is ahead. So ignore the points that you see there in front of you. But as you'll see, you can see the leaderboards, and the schools will be in order of obviously alphabetical order until points start to accumulate. Same with the individuals. You'll see the first name and last initial. And on both of these leaderboards, everything is clickable. And so, for example, you can click on Clark Atlanta University, and you're able to see all of the entries that have been logged underneath that school itself. You can also click on an individual's name and see through that individual what entries that individual has logged through the entry as well. You can see their ranking. You can see their total number of points. Another thing that you can do is when you click on the name of the school, and then this actually takes you to their profile page. So you will see everybody who represents that school or who has selected that school in registration, all of their entries there. So it's really, you can move around from screen to screen. You can see what other people are doing. You can see where other schools stand. So, really play around with those leaderboards once the challenge gets going, because you'll be able to really see how other schools are participating and what they're doing. Also down here at the bottom, you'll just see kind of recent entries that have all come in. And then obviously more information about Outdoor Nation. And I also wanted to highlight down here at the bottom, the footer of the screen. You can specifically, if interested, read the privacy policy, terms and conditions. You're able to contact us, kind of all the standard things you'd see on a website. But I just want to make sure you're aware that those things are there in case you are asked. So that was the homepage, pretty self-explanatory. Also from the homepage, there is an enter button and a login sign up. So obviously everyone, when you get to the website, your first move is going to be log in or sign up for the challenge. And so when you click on login or sign up, there are two ways that you can create an account. The first is to sign up through Facebook, or the second is to enter all of your information individually. Now, whether you sign up through Facebook or you sign up through the website, you will be asked all of the same questions. So you'll be asked to enter an email address, first name, last name, password, confirm password. This is where you're asked to select your school. So once you register for the challenge, every time you come back to the website or the app to log an outdoor activity, the school, as I mentioned, will have points accumulated under their name. So you can only do this once. You're only asked to do it once. So you would register, you would select Appalachian State University. And again, that's how the system knows where your points get accrued in addition to yourself. Also, as you'll see, and as I mentioned, this is where we're also asking the individual to say, are you a student, alumni, staff, faculty, or a community member? Again, the challenge is open to everyone, but this is so that at the end of the challenge, we can report on how many students, how many alumni, how many faculty, staff, etc. participated in the challenge. Ethnicity, obviously, is another statistic that we're always asked about around diversity. So this is where an individual can select from a number of choices around ethnicity. And same with gender as well, selecting male, female, transgender, or other decline to state. So we collect that information as well. And then the last question that we ask is, what do you consider your current level of outdoor experience? And our goal with this question is to see how much we're moving the dial. So how many people said they were a beginner at the beginning of the challenge, and where did we move the dial by the end of the challenge? Do people feel they are now more of an intermediate or advanced based on their outdoor experiences through the challenge? So those are all the questions that we ask. Yes, keep me involved. Yes, I agree to the terms and conditions, and hit submit. The other way that you can do it, as I said, is through Facebook. You would just click connect to Facebook. It automatically will have access to your account. And then it will ask you your school, your gender, your ethnicity. Of course, the system already knows me, so you didn't see that happen, but you did see that I'm now automatically logged in. So once someone either goes through the website or Facebook, you now have an account. And then no one will be able to register an entry, obviously, until October 4th. And so pre-registration opens on the 22nd, meaning that the website will allow everyone to create an account. They'll get a confirmation email. We'll begin collecting email addresses at that point, but no one will be able to click enter and actually submit an entry. Now, I have it open for the purposes of showing it to you today, but obviously when people start registering, and after I do this tutorial, I will turn this off. So no one will be able to enter an activity until midnight on September 4th. So this is your entry page on the website. So there's a reminder about kind of the things that you need to log. There's only a max of 5 entries per day. Activities have to take place during the challenge itself. Submitted activities have to include a picture, and the outdoors has to be the main focus of the activity, and the photo obviously has to be uploaded. So you would provide an activity name, you would select the type of activity, you would share a story of 25 characters or more, you will upload a photo, and this is one piece that is still being fixed, so this will change a little bit by the time the site goes live for pre-registration. But the upload a photo, you will actually be able to upload the photo, crop it to make sure that it's going to be seen the way you intend it to be seen, and then you'll be able to hit submit. So we're still fixing this upload a photo function, but you would choose a file. It obviously opens up your folders on your computer, and then you would choose your photo, crop it, and then log it from there. Select the minutes of activity from the dropdown, and then you would hit submit. And so once you do hit submit, your entries will then be visible, obviously, on the entries page. So you can click on it and see the entry that was done. You also would be able to go to either your individual profile page or your leaderboard, so anywhere here, and you would be able to see the entry logged there. Now, this is an entry that I've logged and I've deleted in the system, and I'll talk about that in just one sec. But you can see this is my profile page that I've set up, and I have one entry that I've logged. So that's really how you would create an account, and that is how you would start to log an entry. So I'll pause there before I talk about other features. There's a couple questions. Will the school profile show individuals with the most points? And that question came from Seth. So when you go to the school profile, it's going to show you the entries as they come in order. So it doesn't matter who's got what points. This is literally the order that the entries have come in through Clark Atlanta University. Now, what you then could do is click on the individual's name and see where their standing is. Now, it's just coincidence that you see rank 1. It could be something totally different. I'm trying to find maybe a school that has other users. Okay, so here's an example. So Lydia doesn't necessarily have... Oh, I'm sorry. So it's taking me to that image. I'd have to go to the leaderboard to click on Lydia's name, but it's not putting it in order of points. It's putting it in order of that they came in and were submitted to the site. So Seth, hopefully that answers your question. Lauren, if someone created an account last year, will they need to create a new account? Yes. So the website is totally scrap clean. So everyone has to create a new account, reconnect your Facebook. It's like starting from scratch, obviously, because there's so much turnover. New schools added, schools that are not participating again. So everyone creates an account. Everyone starts from scratch, starting on August 22nd. Brent's question, I am wondering if this could be tied to a course homework assignment. Would I be able to track students' participation at my school to give them towards an assignment? So, Brent, 100%. So first of all, you will be provided with all of the entries that have been submitted through your school, as well as all of the people that have registered through your school as well. In addition to that, you can search the website, obviously recognize people's names, but most importantly is when you get your Excel spreadsheet, you can ask your students in their description to say, this is an assignment for PRLS 450, or the name of the course, or the teacher's name. And then when we give you the entries for that week, you could literally just do a quick Excel search for Anthropology 101, random example I know, and be able to just easily sort your entries based on your word search. So it might take a little bit of legwork just to pull out those entries, but theoretically, you could assign course homework. You could ask people to add a keyword and then search and find those entries. So 100% Brent. And I can talk to you more specifically about some thoughts around that and how to organize it. But yes, you could do that. All right. So some other things just around the website. When you click on About, obviously this tells you a little bit more about the challenge, as well as tells you who our sponsors are this year, from our national sponsors, our contributing sponsors, promotional partners, etc. When you go to leaderboards, it has its own tab. So you can obviously see the leaderboards if you're not on the homepage here. Again, everything is clickable. You just click on the person's name or the school name, and you would be able to see all of the entries that have come in through that school or individual. Prizes, I'm going to be renaming this tab to promotions, but this is where, in addition to everywhere else that people are going to know about all of the weekly promotions, between push notifications through the app, social media, e-blast that we're sending out, all the communication that you guys as the program people on campus will be pushing out to your campus, we will also have all of the weekly competitions listed here as they happen. So you won't know what's happening next week as a user. You guys will as the staff, but the average student won't know about next week's competition, but they will know about everything that's happened the prior weeks. And so this is where, even for you guys, if you're like, what's the promotion this week? You'll be able to find information here under weekly promotions. Entries is just a place where you can view all entries. These are not sorted by school. They're not sorted by any other feature other than when they were logged. So this is everyone that's participating in the challenge, with the most recent entries being at the top. So just a good kind of bucket, more or less, to see all the entries that have come in through the challenge. And one of the most important links that you guys have obviously seen me communicate with you quite a bit over the last couple of weeks is the resources tab. And so this resources tab has everything that we've given you and talked about really since the beginning of the challenge planning back in May. So I believe all of you are familiar with this page, but in case you're not, when you click on resources, this is where you can download all of the PowerPoints that you've seen on the previous webinars. This is where you can download the list of activities, the weekly schedule for the sponsors and the weekly activations. If you're interested in viewing the webinars from the first or second webinar, this is also where today's webinar will be posted as well. You can download all of our marketing materials, the logo lockup, and we also have specific outdoor retailer activation toolkits for you, the schools, for retailers, as well as all of those marketing materials for retailers that we discussed last week as well. So this is kind of your place to download all of the materials, everything that you need for the challenge, and anything that's not here, anything that you need. I know Lori with Mountain View, we've been working with her on creating yard signs and banners and other things that are kind of special requests. Let us know. You know, we are here to make sure that you're successful. So anything that you need that you're not finding on this page, please let us know and we will make it for you. We'll get it to you, or we'll figure out a way to make it happen. So this is really a great place to start if you have not been to this site already. So let's see, a couple other questions have come in, and think about other questions around the website. And if not, I'll then turn to the app. So let's see, Cameron asked, was there supposed to be a sample press release as one of those resources as well? I can't seem to find that. And yes, actually, we will be providing you with a press release template that you can use to announce to your community that you're participating in the challenge. And it now makes sense, obviously, to do that at the beginning of the year, really when pre-registration starts and when your semester begins. So Cameron, we will email that out as well as include that and get that onto the website as well. And I appreciate that reminder for mentioning that. Any other questions around the website or any kind of the functions of how the challenge works? Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the app. And so I'm really excited to show this to all of you, obviously, because this is the first year that we've had the app, and we've heard for so long that an app is really needed for this challenge, and it just, you know, we really needed the demand there before we could invest in developing this app. And we're really excited to show all of you today kind of what the app looks like, how it functions, and then when it'll be downloadable and when you can start using it. So let me go ahead and switch my screen there. So I just switched to a quick QuickTime view. You should see what looks like an app in front of you. So if someone could just write really quick in the questions, yes, I see the app, that would be helpful, so that I know you're seeing what I am seeing. Perfect. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm actually going to be driving. I'm using the app on my phone, and you're just viewing my phone through the computer. So you'll kind of, if you can envision with me. So here you are on the home screen of the app. So first of all, the app has already been submitted to Apple developers. We're just getting it approved. It should be live on the iTunes store in the next couple of weeks, so well before August 22nd. So as most of you know, you'll go to the App Store, you'll search for Outdoor Nation, and you'll download the app there. We also have an Android version of the app. You're looking at the iPhone version, but we do have an Android version that will be available for download through Google Play. And that also is being submitted to the final approval for development, and that will be downloadable as well. So just like you download any of your other apps, this app will function in the exact same way. So this is kind of your landing page welcome screen. And as you saw on the website, very similar on the app, you can register for the challenge in two ways. You can go to sign up, where you can see you would enter your email address, your first name, last name, password, and then confirm your password. So I'm just going to do that really quickly and create an account so that you can see that, since I didn't do it on the website. And I'm going to use my George Mason account. I'm an adjunct faculty member there. I'm going to enter my name. And this is exactly what all of your participants would be doing as well. I'm going to create a password. And I'm going to hit done. Then I'm going to hit next. My password doesn't match, of course. Pressure. Okay. Okay, and then hit next. And then you'll see that after I enter that information, it takes me to the second page where it asks me to select a school. So I'll go ahead and select, and just because I put in my George Mason address, George Mason University. My position is going to be staff and faculty. Obviously, if I was a student, I would select student. Ethnicity, I'll go ahead and select. I've always wanted to be Hawaiian, so I'll go ahead and select that. Gender identity is male, but I'll choose transgender just so that everyone feels included. And then outdoor experience, I'll go ahead and put beginner. Of course, I want to be involved with Outdoor Nation, so I'll leave that checked. You have to agree to the terms and conditions in order to be fully registered, and then click done. And so you'll see that now I'm registered, I'm in the app, and I now have a profile page. So I went to profile down here at the bottom right, and you can see this is my profile page. And this is where all of the entries that I log, whether through the website or the app, will be present here. And I'll show you that in just one sec, what that looks like. So now that you're in the app, if you click on recent at the bottom left of the app window, you'll see that these are all of the entries that have come in, just like you saw on the website. And these are in order of when they were logged. So they're not in order of points. They're not in order of school. They are in order of when they were logged. So literally a list of the most recent entries that have been logged through the app or website. The second button on the bottom is leaderboards. And you can see you can select from individuals or from schools. And just like you saw on the website, you can click on an individual's name, and it will show me all of the entries that that individual has logged. You can also do the same for school on the leaderboard. Click on the name of the school, and you can see all of the people that have logged activities. Click on the person's name, and then you can see the entry that that person logged. So very interactive, interchangeable. You can see everything that you're doing and what everybody else is doing as well. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the next button over is log activity, which obviously will be one of the most important buttons for people to learn how to use. And so this is where you're now ready to log your outdoor activity. So this is during the 6-week challenge from September 4th to October 15th. You can either select to take a photo through the app like this, where it now opens up my camera, and you guys can see my puppy. It opens up the camera, and obviously I can take a picture from there. Or I can go to log activity and hit upload a photo. And this is where it obviously then goes into my camera reel, and you could select photos from your phone. Now the great thing about this is, and I'm going to go ahead and select a picture from my phone, is that then the app allows you to crop the photo. So whether or not you're taking it or you're uploading it from your photos on your phone, it will ask you then to crop it. And so you can see you can move it around because you want to be able to crop. That's my son and I at Mount Vernon. You want the picture to show what you want the picture to show. Those of you that have participated in the challenge before, you know that cropping was an issue. And so this is our solution. So I want to make sure that I get both of us in Mount Vernon in there. So I go ahead and hit crop. It has cropped the photo. I'm going to go ahead and enter a title, which is testing for webinar. I'm going to write my comments, which needs to be at least 25 characters or more. So testing, 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 testing. Now notice that the date for the photo is already there. And so if you, and again, most people are going to be participating using the app, we believe, the app will automatically pull in the timestamp from your photo, whether it's taken through the app or through the, or you're uploading it from your photos on your phone. So for 90% of the cases, people are going to have a timestamp as part of their photo. So I didn't have to enter that. It automatically knows when the photo took place. Which is important because you can only log 5 outdoor activities a day. And the system is going to see that this is one activity from July 11th. You only have 4 more to log. But of course, it has to be during the time frame of the challenge. Then you click on activity. And this is where you have a drop down of all of the activities that count. So just since we talked about it, Keen Live Monumental is one of the options. So let's just pretend that's actually a picture of us at Keen Live Monumental at Mount Vernon. So I'm going to hit done. I'm going to do the drop down for the duration and click an hour. And then I'm going to hit post photo. Now, notice just below post photo, there's a rules for posting. This will remind people what the 4 rules are for the logged activities. But then you would hit post. And the great thing about that is that now, when you go to recent entries, it populates there. When I go to my profile, it populates there. And you'll see that the Keen Live Monumental activity is worth 5 points. My points have been updated to 5 points. You'll also see that on the leaderboard that George Mason should pop up somewhere. Right there, you'll see George Mason University. You can click on that and you can see now there's 5 points and it's my entry. And also on the individual leaderboards, you'll now see, I think, me at the bottom. Let me just refresh it. There I am, Ivan L, 5 points. Click on it and then you can see my entry. So you can see, you'll know immediately, did your photo post? Are you getting credit for it? Did the points work, etc. So the app is really easy to use. And then from the profile page, you just click on that little wheel there in your upper right-hand corner. Click on the wheel. This is where it tells you your information. You can change your password. You can look at the frequently asked questions, for example. Just click on it and it brings up the FAQs from the website. And you can also report a bug, and that takes you into your email and it sends an email to us. And that's where we would answer immediately or within 24 hours that person's question or concern. I'm going to delete that draft. And then it takes me back to the app. Now, I did just kind of want to show you one thing. I'm going to log out and you'll see it takes me to the screen. If I log in with Facebook, now it should automatically recognize me because I've already gone through this step. But it asks if I authorize the app to use my Facebook. I say yes. And you'll see that now I'm in. And just to kind of show you my profile, you'll see the puppy photo that I posted. I'm with a different school, but you can see now that these are things that I've posted through a separate account, and you can view all of your entries there. Now, the reason I wanted to specifically show you this is that you'll see that this entry has an orange circle with an X in it. And you also would be able to see this on the website. So I'm just going to flip to the website for a second just so that you kind of see how everything is intertwined. And so you should be looking at the website. And if I go back to the entries page, you'll see the entry that I just posted through the app. So there it is right there. So you can see how everything that you do to the app ends up on the website. But I want to log out and I want to log back in using my Facebook. I think this should work. And if I go to my profile page, you'll see that entry there as well. And so every entry that comes into the challenge, whether it's through the app or the website, is being reviewed by a team of interns not associated with any of the participating schools. And those interns are being assigned specific schools, and every day, Monday through Friday, those interns are looking at every entry that comes in. So let me pause there and just reiterate. as there are so many entries that are coming in for the challenge, which is a great problem to have, everything is automatically approved until we go in and reject or decline it. And so as these interns are reviewing entries, the goal is to have as many things be approved as possible, obviously. But for those entries that clearly are not meeting the requirements of the challenge, they're double entries, whatever the issue might be, there's many that occur over the course of the challenge. This is where we from the back end have the ability to decline or reject the entry. And so here you can see as I put my mouse over the entry, it's showing me that it's been rejected. Now, what that means is this counts as one of my 5 entries per day, and I can't make up for a rejected entry. So this is for an individual who obviously isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, is trying to, take advantage of the challenge or the points or whatever the issue might be. So this X means that it's been rejected. It's counting against them, but it's one of their 5 entries. Now, the difference between rejected and deleted is that now you're seeing the back end of the website. If I go into my rejected entries and I change this to deleted as an example, and I go back to, and I go back to this page, you'll see that it now has a trash can on it instead of an X. And the trash can, as you can see, means that the entry has been deleted. This is for the people that accidentally logged a duplicate entry, or the photo wasn't right, or whatever the problem might be. But we have the ability to delete the entry, meaning you can still see that it was there, you can see that it was deleted, but it doesn't count as one of your 5 entries per day. So it's for people that made honest mistakes. This way they can relog that 5th entry and get the max amount of points for that day. So reject means it counts against you. Delete means it doesn't count against you. And we have the ability to move, the category of that entry from the back end. So that's how kind of the admin works. Everything comes in approved. And then after 24 hours, you can go to your profile page. And this is where you would see all of your entries. And the entries that have X's or trash cans are the ones that for one reason or another have been rejected or deleted. And the reason that I'm stressing this is because this, again, is something brand new. In previous years, you would go to your entry page and you would see your 100 entries and have no idea what was counting and what wasn't. Now you're able to go to your entry page and very clearly be able to see these are the things that are all active and approved. These are the entries that are declined. These are the entries that are rejected. So, and just to kind of show you how that works, I'm going to flip back to the app, and these things hopefully should talk to each other and update, and you'll see that now my entry on the app now is has the trash can instead of the X. So the app, the website, they talk to each other. They should have the same points, the same entries. But again, the app is going to function so much more efficiently than the website. You can do it from your phone, where we know most participants are trying to participate anyway, and it makes it really user-friendly. So I will pause there, and there are a couple questions, and then I know I'm reaching my 1 hour mark here. So let's see. First question. So does that mean if I log a pic from July 11th that I only have 4 more activities for July 11th or for the day that I posted? Is backlogging a thing? So that question came from Justin. Justin, that was just an example using a photo from my phone. 150%, there is no backlogging. No one, and the system will not allow you to post anything prior to September 4th. So it'll tell you this is not, you can't log this, the date, the entry has to take place after September 4th. So we will turn that mechanism on after we've gone through, obviously, the tutorial of today's webinar. So 150%, the activities have to take place and the photos have to be between September 4th and October 15th. But if that photo did say September 4th, this would count as one of my 5 entries from that day. So Justin, let me know if that doesn't answer your question. And then Lori, thank you. She says, this is fantastic. Any other questions around the website, the app, or the functionality or technology? I'll just pause there for a second and let those questions come in. So while folks are maybe thinking again as far as timing, pre-registration opens August 22nd. And so that's what I'm working backwards from. So again, the Android app and the iPhone app have been submitted to the appropriate developers for approval. Those should be within the next 2 weeks available on both the iTunes store as well, or the App Store as well as Google Play. We'll obviously send out lots of notifications about that. Also, on all of the marketing materials and in all of the messaging that you are using to get people to participate in the challenge, please remember to encourage the sign up for the Outdoor Nation Campus Challenge, download the Outdoor Nation app. It's on the infographic. The logos for iTunes and Google Play are on all of the marketing materials, but we are pushing the app. So please make sure that you guys are pushing the app as well, because I think this is going to be the best way for people to participate. And obviously for those that aren't doing things through their phone, we have a website that fully functions. I'm sorry about that. We have a website that fully functions and allows you to participate and log your entries as well. So a couple things, let's see, questions come in from Heather. What if someone is out of cell phone and internet range on a longer camping trip? Can they backlog to an account for the day they took the pic during the trip? So yes, as long as it happened during September 4th through October 15th, it's going to pull in the photo tag. And so the system knows that, okay, today is October 1st. The photo that you're uploading has a photo tag of September 27th, and you log 5 entries from September 27th on October 1st. The system will allow you to do that. It is basing it off of the date of entry that you're entering for the activity. So if there's no photo tag, you'll be asked to manually enter the date. If there is a photo tag, that's where it'll pull it from. Either way, the 5 entries per day is coming from the photo tag or the date that you provide for the photo. So Heather, yes, you can backlog as long as it's between September 4th and October 15th, whether you're entering the date or the photo tag is there. A couple other questions. Great. So let's see. Sean asked, just to clarify, if we go on a trip where we don't have cell service, it's a weekend and we take 15 pictures, 5 per day, can all 15 be uploaded when we return? 100%. As long as 5 of those say the date of Friday, 5 of those say the date of Saturday, and 5 of those pictures say the date of Sunday, 100% you are able to do that. It is pulling from the date of entry, not the date that you're actually logging the activity, like going onto the app or the website to log it. Let's see, Dennis said, will people who are getting 50 points, the max amount per day, be heavily monitored? I know some people are worried of improper logs by people to achieve maximum amount of points. Dennis, great question. And so, yes, so again, we have a minimum of 10 interns that will be working solely 100% on Outdoor Nation campus entries. So every intern will be assigned somewhere between 5 to 10 schools, depending on the size of the schools and the amount that they're participating. And they will be doing nothing but reviewing entries, contacting people that have, bunk entries or a problem, and we'll be looking at all of the people, especially on the top leaderboards as well. So review is 100% a top concern of ours, and we're on top of it as much as I think humanly possible. So everyone will be monitored heavily. Sean, looks like that answered your questions. Heather answered your questions. And Dennis, I think that answered your questions as well. Okay, so let's see. One more question came in. 5 entries would need to be 5 separate activities. Yes. So it can't be, I went on a 3-hour hike, I'm going to log that 5 times. A 3-hour hike counts as 1 entry. Now, if you do a 3-hour hike into a campsite, you go camping and then hike 3 hours out, that's 3 activities. The hike in, camping, hiking out. So yes, it has to be 5 individual activities for 5 individual entries. Okay, so really quickly about shipping, and I know I'm over my 1 hour time here, so I'm going to start losing some folks. Shipping. I am going to send you guys in the post follow-up. So that's for everyone reviewing this webinar or that attending the webinar right now. I'm going to be sending you a Google Doc with the shipping information that I had for your check. I'm going to ask each of you to go in, review your individual address information. This is the address that I need to ship your box of materials to. We will be shipping materials out on August 12th. So on August 12th is when we will be shipping boxes to all 90 schools. So it's imperative that we have the correct shipping information for you by that time. So all of the materials are being received from all of our partners and sponsors, including the Live Monumental Toolkit that Kirsten mentioned. We will be shipping you all of those materials, all of your giveaways, everything that you need as far as activation. We will be shipping that out on August 12th so that you are receiving it the week before pre-registration, which opens August 22nd. So look for a Google Doc and please take a few seconds to make sure that we have the correct shipping address. We will also be sending you the final details around the weekly activations, social media campaigns, all of that in the coming weeks. So a lot more information coming your way. So shipping, the Google Doc, details around activations, all will be coming your way, as well as when the apps will be available for download. But remember, August 22nd, pre-registration starts. So we want people to start registering and getting involved with the challenge. But no one will be able to actually log in activity. That function will be turned off until Sunday, September 4th, which is Labor Day weekend. So a couple more questions. Dating myself. Someone asked, what is slacklining? Lori, I'll respond to you just because I'm running out of time. And then Heather said, does a photo have to have the participant's face shown to get credit? Selfies. So no, we do not use the selfie language specifically. And we have gone back and forth about this requirement. Just to respond to that quickly. It does not have to have your face in it, but we do need proof that you are there doing the activity. You know, we didn't want a website of entries of just beautiful mountains and landscapes. We wanted action. We want active outdoor recreation to be shown through the challenge. So we do require a body part, whether you as a whole person or a part of your body, to be visible in the photo that you're uploading in order for it to count. So a beautiful mountain, a beautiful trail won't count. A trail with your foot in it, a handlebar with your hand on it, anything to show that you're actually there participating in the activity is required, but a face and a quote-unquote selfie is not required to be approved. So Heather, hopefully that answers your question. Well, great. Well, I'll be doing follow-up as usual, sending all of you a copy of the recording. I'll get it onto the resources page. I'll get you the Google Doc to confirm your shipping information. As always, let me know what questions you have. I am here to help, so let me know. Any questions around Live Monumental, certainly let me know, and I will make sure that I get the answer from Kirsten. Thank you so much. Lots more to come. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody.